pop, and we've done it.
Go. And go.
Love us.
I need to go back. I
Brian,
didn't do that
you've gone
right.
back too far, my prince.
No, I didn't do it right. I didn't do it.
How are you, man? We are here.
We're here.
New Moon campaign returns.
It does. Oh.
It
What is
drops
going to
us.
happen to these two young miscreants? Will they ever find one another? Will they save
right?
the world? Does the world need saving? We don't know.
Well, we're happy you guys could join us. I'm Carpe the DM. This is Brianimus, my dear friend and collaborator. This is, I guess, session 3, part 2 of an 8-session campaign where we are DMing one-offs for each other. We homebrewed the world together. We built it, and now we're going to break it.
We're just one-offing each other. That's all.
Yeah, classic one-off.
Yeah.
Gentlemen,
Just
off a guy, one a guy, one off a guy.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. Anything to break the strike. Yo, Foos, what up, what up? Lurk, legend, bugles up. Foos was guest starring on an actual play. It was fucking sick. I always love when you swang through. Also, well, yeah, we'll see what unfolds. But Brian, anything you want to say before we crank into this little ditty?
Oh yeah, Owlbear.
Oh my God, yes.
They changed it, and good for that. They've been providing a kind of a beta version that we've just fallen in love with for its simplicity.
Yes.
But it's changed, and it's a little bit more difficult. Like, I'm not as great at adjusting to change. However, should be okay. However, but what I have lost the ability to do is stream music. So, John, if you have any music.
Oh, it's playing, baby. I got the cello strang-a-langin'. I guess I should send you the link, huh?
Nah, it's okay. As long as you hear it and they hear it, I will suffer because of my digital ignorance of being able to set it up myself. You know, it's just like, and it'll mess. It's gonna be like I'm gonna be doing some jolly, laughing stuff, and it's gonna be this very somber music.
Yeah, feel free to just DJ me on the fly. Like,
no,
give me a color pattern and I'll find a music to match.
Okay, I basically want this color pattern that's behind me to really be the essence of this island.
That's striking me as Scandinavian house, soft house. Insomnia, my dude, get over here.
Please do.
Hey man, I can grow that out. I can grow this bad boy out. I can also pull you over for speeding, quick, just as quick. Hope you're living, man. Yeah,
You rock a mustache better than most people.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I thought I was going to book a role in Wild West Chronicles, and I guess haven't. I'm still waiting by the phone. But I was like, fuck it, man. Let this thing ride.
Yeah. Let it do it. You need to get that wax.
Yes, the Western.
You get a little bit of that gray in there, though, baby.
I can't stop it, dude. But Evil Carpe will be had, Insomnia. I appreciate it. All right, I guess... I mean, we haven't done this in a month. I have had so much time to, like... I've been thinking more for Coleridge's stuff.
Right.
And it's funny because I was coming back, I was like, oh man, I'm playing today.
Yeah.
What a treat.
Well, your name is Gabriella. You're a wizard.
Yeah. Divination is this, right?
Yeah. But if you're ready to start, we can just go ahead and start.
Yeah.
Well, before we get too much into the backstory, let's go into the histories a little bit, knowing that the past can often inform on the present. So, you're in the keel of your father's ship, at the base of a very steep staircase, almost like a ladder. There's barely any light. The only light that's in there is coming from a small lantern from above. And that gets shut off into darkness as a dwarven man follows you, descending down the ladder, closing the door. You're in darkness, in the keel of the ship. It's rocking pretty aggressively down here at the base. You know that surrounding you on all sides are just these wooden slats that are holding back an ocean of water. And you hear a brisk voice call out to you. Don't be so eager to turn on your light yet, Gabby. Listen. Use your other senses. Hear where you are. Smell. Imagine your surroundings, what they could be. Is there anybody else here, Gabby? Or is it just us? You sure? And roll a perception check.
14.
14. Hard to tell, but you hear, it's silent initially, but as you kind of wait, and in that silence, you're kind of listening to hear if you hear someone else's breath, other than Brist, whose breath is very, but you're trying to hear anything else. And in that hearing, you begin hearing the cracks in the ship, the creaking of the wood, the tumult of the rocking motion of the boat kind of pitching to and fro. You can cast your light. You do know that one, yes?
Reach forward and find like a separate piece, smaller box,
and you see the keel of the boat, and you're not really sure if I'm not really sure if you've been down here before. There's really no reason to. There's no storage. You don't keep anything down here. No one comes down here unless there's a reason to, unless there's some sort of damage. This is mainly for ballast and to keep the boat balanced. All the storage is just above you, all the cargo and such. And it's a small little wooden plank that divides and runs up the middle of this as you kind of stand. Now, I want you to look at that. And he points to the side of the boat, and you see it's just these wooden planks that are tarred and waxed together. Did you learn mending from that book I gave you?
No, not yet. It doesn't make all the way sense to me. Working on it.
It would have come in handy, I think. And all of a sudden, you see pieces of wood begin to splinter out.
Wait, Brist.
Come in.
Remind me. I know I have it, and I think she for her spell book, and it may. She starts to work on the raising of this mending cantrip that she knows she doesn't have.
Well, it's in the book. You must have left it upstairs. I mean, you can run and get it, but I think we'd all be dead by then. Look at the wood. Can you mend it? Imagine your hands going across it. What do you see? And you're looking at it, and like water is just kind of spraying in. Not a tumult of water, but it's this warm water, and it's starting to kind of fill up by your, halfway up your toes and such. Your feet are starting to get wet.
Help me. I know it's something like this, and I maybe know, like, I think it's just I actually don't know if it has verbal component. She tries to, the smallest area that she.
Okay. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
That.
Dirty 20. And as you do there, you're trying to come up with these words that would mend it. These strange kind of and as you put your hands there, you're thinking about the book. You're thinking and thinking about what this could possibly be, but you didn't really know it. And then Brisk kind of comes over to you and says, "What do you see?" And as you look between your hands, you see the fibers of the wood. And you can see the fibers have these little kind of claws that start to kind of grab one another and bind back. Good. Listen to those around you, the things that you see in the world. That is where the magic is. They are just transcribed on the paper. And as you do this, he kind of puts his hands on you, and you see more of the wood begin to kind of form together, and whatever hole was there is now sealed.
And DM, just to clarify, like, I mean, I don't know if I'm reading too much.
Oh yeah, like a tarantula with like hair on the leg. Yeah, they kind of like each fiber kind of latched onto one another, and it looked very much almost like Sanskrit, right? And how words and
Sanskrit is great.
Huh?
My Sanskrit is incredible.
It's great. Yeah, but we don't know what common looks like. I mean, come on. And
but
totally,
just the
something
idea
beautiful, that he's trying to, don't be so attached to the page, Gabriella.
I had that one. And you see her like almost. I think in that moment she's looking for other areas, nicks and dings in the wood. Certainly, if there's words fresh in her hand, interior of the ship.
Sure, make an investigation.
That's a 10.
That's a 10. Okay, so you run your hand over. You actually find everything is pretty down here. Everything is repaired very neatly, but there is a carving on a chunk of wood, kind of in the forward section of the ship, and you see carved into the wood is Pyrspun and a date, 419, and you can try to mend that if you'd like.
Pyrspun 418.
Yeah.
Wow. Who's coming in town for 420? I mean, absolutely will.
Make another Arcana check.
That's a
22. Okay, so you start see like it's mainly about, you see how old the wood is and how it's been treated over time. You start getting a history and sense of this thing and all the journeys that your father's gone in, and all in this boat, and all the journeys that happened before it. And then you get back and you're thinking and you're seeing this man carving this on a boat and then smashing a glass against it and having a drink, and you see these scars. You start to understand the creation of this, and it begins to fade away and heal itself. The wood begins to come back and regrow, almost as if it were alive in the plant. Good. Good. It's only books that'll teach you so much, Gabrielle. And as the past informs the present, the Gabriella we meet on the island of Portofino knows the cantrip mending.
Fuck yeah. That's fun.
Just for a little, just to remind us where we are. Gabriella Dupont was stranded by her father on the docks of Ravensport, also known to locals as Portofino. You were left in the care of an old friend named Marcellus, who offered you shelter in his daughter's old room. He lives alone on the hillside and spends his time crafting potions of all sorts of various ingredients found on the island. His wife is a wizard, and perhaps your father had hoped she would also be here to guide you in your arcane curiosity. Alas, she is not here. But you did stay, for now. Your coin purse is full. You sold some potions of climbing to drunk sailors for a substantial price. Enough money to assuredly set sail home, or really anywhere this side of the melted heart. But you stayed, perhaps to learn more about the skull masks that people wear at night, or learn how to jump off the ocean waves with a twirl of a long silk scarf, or learn the mysteries found in crafting potions of power. Roll an Arcana check on this island.
DM, I don't know if this is possible.
Yeah.
Gabby had.
Sure.
If I haven't.
You still have you did, so you're coming back halfway through the day at lunch.
Yeah, cool.
But
Okay.
you have not used it, so you can certainly use it.
I'm gonna use the natural 20. Yeah.
Okay.
So a 28.
All right. So as you are kind of walking back from deep within the palm jungle, you had just seen two vicious rodents chase after and kill a spider that was about the size of a pumpkin. And you're returning back to Marcellus with you have a basket full of flowers. He had asked you to go get some clippings for him to help build potions. Something about here, there are no books here. But something about that lesson that you remember in the bottom of the ship, about looking at the world around you, and that finding spells written on the things in which you're casting them on, as well as in words, to not be so bound up into the books. You just need to figure out how to read it. You come upon Marcellus. Welcome. Are you hungry?
Yeah, I am. Smells really good in here. What do you have going?
Oh, just some dried spices, cooked cucumbers, zucchini, squashes, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd love whatever I can. I found these, and I'll pull out the dragon's teeth, night lover, basket orchids.
Yes.
Beautiful forest. It's
Quite a find indeed.
good enough. Can you use them or honestly, there's still sun left in the day. I'd happily go back.
Yes, you happily can. I don't need any more of these, and he hands you back one more dragon's tooth. Did you cut all of these, or did you leave some?
Left some, yeah, and I use this, and I pull up the knife. I'm like, wouldn't have found them without it. I don't think this is handy.
It's helpful. It's a helpful guide, and it'll help you learn where to cut. These are all, and you can see, and you had cut a few, and as soon as you cut them, they kind of had withered. But then you had cut them.
Oh shit! Did I?
And done well. Well, you when you were cutting them, it's you learned through your last session how you were cutting the stems or cutting the flowers off at different places,
Indeed.
how it affected the life of the plant. And these are your good sample clippings in which you did very well on. Here, have the, and he puts a bowl together of these sautéed vegetables and rice and barley and such, and yeah. And he takes a dragon's tooth and tucks it into your ear. Enjoy. Take this to your room. Relax. Maybe go out again afterwards. And this evening, I'll teach you how to turn some of these into liquid gold.
Very much like, yeah, the potion of climbing. I used one last night. It was perfect. I mean, hands felt like glue.
No, yeah. You used one.
Yeah, no, I did. And actually found a bit of a market for. Some sailors were looking for, a good time to climb up and grab coconuts, but yeah, they took quite a few off my hands.
Oh, good. Potion of climbing is of no dire influence, but some of the potions we craft here, you can't just sell to anyone. You understand?
Oh, I do. I had that thought as well.
But anybody can climb. That's perfectly okay.
Well, I'll thank you for this. And Gabby sort of like, taking in the room, like feeling very accomplished, happy opportunity. Some of this potion work, I'll commit, but also just feeling very. He turns back. Marcellus, wife Patricia, did keep a diary of any sort, so any books used in her own practice?
Unfortunately, all that Patricia had, she took with her of that nature. We do have some books, but I don't believe they're the ones you're looking for.
No worries. It does pertain to the island. I'd love to read it, but thank you.
They do have some histories that we could
lay them out for me if you don't mind. I maybe I'll look over them as the sun goes down.
Yes, I most certainly will. And just forgive me. I'll go to my study and see what I can find. And he leaves and he goes and yeah, and you kind of see the door he enters. It's kind of near this greenhouse. He has this towering greenhouse, almost like it's a lighthouse made of glass with a spiraling trunk of a tree that spirals around the inside of it. And each little section, there are all sorts of flora that is sprouting and just this kind of gorgeous display of vegetation in this greenhouse. And right before it, there's a little anteroom, and he walks in. It's a small, modest bed with a bookshelf of sorts, different things.
And do I feel like he's meant for me to follow?
If you'd like, yes.
Yeah, I think I will. I think I'll sort of walk with him.
Yeah.
I'll take my bowl. I'll sort of eat it as I go.
All right. And as you go in, you see there's more paintings in there that belong to that you can tell now are from Jacqueline. Beautiful paintings of the island. Some portraits of herself. A portrait of her father Marcellus and his wife. Portrait of the family. And different island places and different girls and boys from the island, just jam-packed really with paintings from that his daughter had made, and lovely. Not a lot of books. She's a very talented artist, and
Jacqueline Claire Macduff.
Yes.
No,
but here you are, and he pulls down, and it's a book, and it's very thin, but it's large. But it's a thin, large book of the far-flung.
It's not small, it's thin.
Yeah, it's thin. It'd be probably about 60 pages or so, but large pages. And as you know why? Because as you open up, there's some writing, and the writing is fairy tales of nature, but there's a lot of drawings. A lot of drawings at different islands, and there's a few chapters on the wind channels. You see.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say it again. Wiccan?
Wind channels.
Wind channels. Okay.
When you sail in the far flung, you must be wary of where the wind will take you. For locals here, they know the winds and what time of day they go in which direction, so you must be working and congruent with them. Even the wind talkers, as Patricia, have a difficult time controlling the winds here in the far flung. So knowing them is a navigator's dream.
She's hearing this and pulled back in. Beautiful. Might I go over this?
Yes, go.
And just the illustrations. I sort of immediately am looking for, reference points of Portofino, and yeah, I'm bad. I mean, I think there's a part of her that is so, oh, my dad could use that. And then is almost like create herself for thinking that, you know, it's sort of where that memory is sort of like a hot blade. I pull back from it, close the book. Oh, yeah. Not having books, you certainly have a charming one. This is awesome, Marcellus, thank you. See how windwork would be. Northern Sea. I wonder if... I have to give it a look, I guess. Be hard pressed to get out in the forest now, but try to.
Yes, if you'd like, or we can start again tomorrow. There are things to be learned, but certainly you've earned your rest. Perhaps I've earned one as well. Rendezvous in an hour in the greenhouse. Yes? And you can see he kind of like goes and he gets on this chair at his desk and he starts kind of mortising, classifying all the different herbs that you've gotten and starts looking at them, testing them and all that sorts of things.
Take this book back with me and I'll lay it very squarely and neatly in the middle of me. I'll sit down there and maybe open this bowl of it. And if I still have, you know, what I think to be enough time, I don't know if this is realistic.
Yeah.
I think Gabby would walk and perhaps look at the area where those rats down that spot. Unless it's like deep in the forest. I can't, I mean, I know I was walking around all morning.
Pretty far away. I would say as you can certainly go and do that. It would be, be an hour there, I think, and finding your way towards it.
And is there time left in the day? Like, is it 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, or is it?
Yeah, there's definitely time to go back there if you'd like.
Well, you know what? Marcellus said an hour. And I'll, after sort of, eating this, I'll sort of kind of realize the timing and about... Yeah, I mean, the dream was very stirring. And that's often been... I think there's a self-conscious Gabby about the disconnect between knowledge and real-world application.
Mm-hmm.
But she'll take this book on wind channels, go and just try to find a spot, maybe a pleasant place beneath one of the trees in other parts of the lower down on that hill heading back into town. And she'll read for half an hour and come back and meet Marcellus.
Yeah, there's a wonderful place in front of the house. His house is very much modeled after all the other island huts that are around. They kind of exist into lower dwellings. They don't really go up as much as they go down. And cool. But you find there's some nice shade around there that you're not getting on anyone else's property or such. But you can see the tops of other houses and shacks and down into the main town and the harbor. And you can see these twisting pine trees. And as you begin to kind of read this book, make an investigation check. So you start to kind of go through it.
That is an 8.
An 8. Your mind is kind of skipping away as you're kind of reading these stories of different sailors throughout the far flung that are reporting on various islands and certain monsters, these large reptilian monsters called dinosaurs that still exist on certain northern islands that are fascinating to you as you kind of are just getting enamored by that. You get to a chapter, all the silk spiders and how they're holy here on the island. And not because of your 8, but as you're kind of drifting away, the flower from your ear that Marcellus had tucked behind falls down and lands onto the book. And as it falls, and you remember this from when you cut the flower, it falls very delicately, drifts down, looks like it has more weight than what it would do, but it seems to be catching the water, almost flipping up like a daffodil, or what are those? Yeah, I think daffodils, those little white things when you blow them and they just kind of glisten down onto the palm. Yeah.
And kind of moves it around her palm. It was a similar motion that had led to her rules of port. Interesting. Did it feel natural to me? Like that's part of the fast-moving half-life of
These flowers? I mean, it's still alive. It just kind of slipped from beneath your hair and just fell down, and dressed down. I think you can make a nature check.
I love nature.
Yeah.
Kind of. That's
16's good. All right. So as you kind of are looking at this, and you start to kind of you see this pattern inside with the stem and the flower and the veins of each flower. They spread out almost systematically, and you drop it again, and it floats. And as it floats, and you kind of trace the outline of its path, you do it again, and the path that it falls down reminds you of certain spells with somatic properties, and the motion that your hands must go in order to cast them. And you've had a really difficult time with Brist about casting spells with somatic compulsion, because it's difficult to move your hands in that such a way of understanding it. But you begin to drop it again, and it falls. And as it falls, you feel that maybe you're giving it a little bit, helping it stay upright and fall lighter. And now, let's see if you can make the Arcana check.
Two. 12. Let's go. That's 30-20.
30-20. As you do it, and as you kind of keep going back and forth, and you look at the outlinings of this flower, you begin to understand a spell. Words come to you out of the vein tracings in the stem. Strange words, not common, not elvish, not what are the other languages you speak, but none of the languages that you speak. Just sounds, really.
Common and elvish.
Yeah. Sounds that come out in this motion of your hands and this feeling. And then you try to use it on an acorn as you drop an acorn that's here. And that acorn begins to fall, much like the dragons do, as you learn the spell Featherfall.
Massive. Or sort of looking up. Summons her mage hand, passing it.
And at that point, you hear Marcellus's voice calling out, "Gabriella! Gabriella!"
I'll be on my way, yeah.
Oh, okay, just finding where you are. It's been an hour. We give some duties in the potion shops.
I do. I sort of tuck the flower behind me and fold this book very carefully. Not if it's too steep of an uphill, but I definitely kind of double sort of like half running, not wanting to drop this book.
Yeah.
Tempted to like jump off the sloping road. I mean, incline to get a little feather fall myself. But I don't.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not prepared.
It's one of those things where, yeah, and I think that just for the sake of narrative,
yeah.
If you want to make an acorn or something insignificant fall slowly,
cool.
Yeah, it's something you can just do. But if you make a human being or yourself do a feather fall, that would require a spell component. and we'll see how that gets us into trouble later on.
No,
It's
no,
like
totally
he
fair. No.
drops the acorn of doom, or like the
Yeah.
one ring falls off. You're like, Featherfall,
I'm
you
like,
said
I'm
I
out of
didn't
spell
do it.
slots, but
Yeah,
I did attach a
but
symbol
you didn't do
spell
that.
to this
Yeah,
acorn.
I think so. I think that for the purposes of learning,
No,
the
no,
purpose.
it's yeah.
But you get there, and Marcella says, I thought you might have gone out and tried to grab more of my list. But
Drawn into this book, I am chanting. I mean, I didn't know Portofino was sort of central to so much of it. Also, had no idea that spiders were considered so special and revered. That's yeah, it wasn't upheld in my household. But why is that? Do you know?
some would tell you that it's because of the fine silks they make. And as you look around, that's what people wear. They clothe themselves head to foot in the work of the spider, but I believe it's more. The spiders here are not like the spiders from your hometown land. They are peaceful. They do not bite. They feed off the palm leaves of the twin palms. You see, and he points to one that's the double helix. Those leaves, when they fall, the spiders will go and take and feed off of them. And that is it. It creates silks for the people and the balance of the land. And also, you sell those silks and you make quite a pretty penny.
Off myself, it's quite charming.
I saw your scarf. Well, that might be a different kind of silk, unfortunately. You see, if you get one wild from the spiders and their caves or their dwellings, it's this very light property, but the spiders that are bred in captivity at the harbor, the one little spider we saw last night that had gotten away and jumped on the wind. Do you remember that?
Ooh, yeah.
Well, the spider's harsher. Their silk is harsher. Doesn't have the breezy compliments of one that would live free. Makes sense, I suppose.
I was intending to go in back. Right, across one. Good to know about the two different kinds. I definitely don't want any more, rough silk. I'm glad you said that because it's quite
It's not a
quality. So
in time, you'll find your own silks. Maybe somebody from the town can fashion you one for a little bit of trade. They do like their potions here. And he kind of like stretches out. You see he's wearing these like nice silks here, touch. And yeah, and it's just incredibly light, almost as
yeah, that's much.
has no weight at all.
Wait, but my brothers. How should I know who to sell? A way that you use to, determine who should in a trade or in a sale.
We're not getting so far to those yet. An invisibility potion, for instance, if you learned how to craft that, it could be used for very dastardly deeds. So, and if it is used, then you would bear some of that responsibility of giving this power to someone. So you just need to make sure, whether through your own insight or someone else that you trust. But
Yeah, that makes sense. Hey.
I sell my potions through an intermediary that sends them back well below the melted heart. I think that they are used for good, but I am not certain. Nothing can be. The powerful ones I don't let loose on the island. I don't want to feel the retribution from my neighbors.
It does seem like the island itself is pretty insular, except for those coming in and out of the port.
This port is kept by the locals, but up north, and you see, and he points, and you can see kind of in the distance to the north, there's this large rock that you had seen before, and that kind of just towers above. The pilot rock separates the north and south of this island, and the north is Gregorians, completely inhabited by men of the south.
The Gregorians, huh? Have I heard of the Gregorians?
Yeah, it's just it would be people kind of from near where you are, but just further to the east. Very industrialized people, very civilized people.
Let it go.
A lot of tinkerings and pollutants.
Yeah, I do know. You of course know the that area of Pilot Rock. I've seen it, but good to know. I appreciate you.
Wary of going north of there. I probably should have told you, but I didn't imagine you'd run off so far. It would take you over a day, I believe. But be wary.
Well, show me what's what with this boat. Right before, should I wash my hands?
Well, how dirty are they?
Looks down. They're probably like.
Whoa.
Although I will say, you absolutely would have washed them before going through.
They look clean to me, and it's also not how dirty they are, but what are they dirty with? I think we'll be okay. Anyway, and so he goes down, and you spend the next couple hours grinding, and really it kind of hurts your wrist, elbow, and arm, and you start to think kind of this old man's doing it. How is he able to kind of work through this pain? And you kind of present him stuff, and he, oh no, finer, much finer, and he makes you grind these leaves and these things until they're like a fine powder, and almost all of it goes away. And the liquid that kind of comes from it, he has you save in small little tinctures, and just it's very systematic, very organized, and everything is put in its right place. We are in the process of raw ingredients today. Perhaps tomorrow we can combine them and see what magics we can create. But the workday is done. Can't do it all. As night settles, might be time for bed. I do have a question for you, Gabriella.
Of course, yeah.
Why do you study and wish to learn the arcane ways?
I always got sort of caught up in with how Talbot's past came to. Wizards that lived that long ago, they were able to do that much. Maybe I could sort of put a hand to things easy a little bit, or things at least have to be as hard.
Talbot's past came to be when Talbot's sons were killed. And in his anger and rage and heartache, he split the mountain. There is a lesson there. It's a dangerous road you go on, but yes, you can do wonderful things.
Did he live, you know?
Nobody knows this. He hasn't shown himself in thousands of years, so I imagine if he lived then, he's dead now. Immortality is not a gift, it is a curse. You should know this. It is hard to imagine when you're young. There are gifts in letting the ones who come behind, the ones that are not born yet, to come over and take some of the power away from you. It is a hard reckoning that the old man must undergo.
I don't think I need to live. Grow up, you know.
Have a good 70 years left, young girl. Do not be in such a rough. It's more than I can say for myself.
You're getting around quite nice, Marcellus. Right. You for like a brief second considers like, can you hang on body parts? Said no. I really can't tell you. I feel like I have purpose. And if it's just sort of answering our questions like that. And sort of up, you know. So much magic there. Sounds. Honest, half the time I feel like opening the flower with the sun.
Good. Join the island soon enough. Get some sleep. We work hard in the mornings. Good night, Gabby.
Gabby sort of like, you know, very quietly kind of goes, and it's a kind of like the tidying up ritual that she held strictly to account for in her just at her stepmother's house, but does so like willingly and happily. Feels an increase in this sense that owed. But she goes up and
as you're in the room,
sure.
Marcellus, before he left, he asked you to look over the flowers, and he'd like, you know, you to find some more.
Yeah.
So I would like you just roll a investigation check.
17.
You pass over it, but as you're looking at these, and you see that the drawings that are on this sheet that he gave you, there are some larger paintings on the wall. And you notice that the names are different in one of them. You see that it says Dragon's Tooth or Dragon's Teeth on your painting, but in the painting on the wall next to the portrait of a blonde woman or white hair, it says Dragon's Teeth.
Dragon, huh?
Dragon. And where it says Night Lovers, the G in night has been replaced with a Y. You notice these like subtle differences in all these paintings that are different than the ones that are on your sheet in front of you.
And these are Jackie's paintings, eh?
Yeah.
Artistic license? What you do? Definitely something to be noted and considered. She on her paper, sort of in a parenthetical, writes alternatives, like as a note to self.
Okay. Do you know what they are?
Well, one's, I just mean like the dragon's teeth. that I
Yeah.
have in the painting. I'm gonna write, Brigun's teeth, and then beneath the night lovers, I was gonna put in the alternate spelling. Or am I misinterpreting?
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, so as you do, you go, yeah, it's a I, so you write the I and you write the Y.
Right.
So as you look over on the first painting to the left, it says the Basket Orchid.
Oh, okay, got it.
And at the painting it says Basket Orchid. Are you writing all of these down?
Yeah, I think I am.
So as you kind of go through that, the R, the I, the Y, and what's that? What's that one say next to underneath the girl? Can you read it? It's hard to see. And then
Which one? Portgrass, night lover, shepherd thistle, two-headed
yeah,
boy.
but on the wall of the room, or where the different, and it says, yeah.
Bambifloria or the flicker feather?
Yeah. Well, what does Flicker Feathers say? And Bambifloria, you notice it's Bombifloria. And Flicker Tethers.
Flicker
Flicker Feathers. Anyway, so you write these words, you write these letters down. And it says R-I-Y-A-T.
Rayat.
Yeah. R-I-Y-A-T, I believe.
Rayait.
No, it's okay. All right. Cool. So you go to sleep?
Yeah.
All right, great. So you go to sleep. Next morning.
That tickles my memory.
So you wake up the next day, and you can see it's very dark, and you hear kind of clanging around. All right. In the kitchen area, the study area, you can hear him bumbling around, looking for things. What would you like to do?
Still, I feel like it's the last thing on my mind. Whenever I went to sleep, I sort of wake up and I'm still kind of thinking about tethers and sort of like these slight, and then collecting the differences. Do I recognize Riot? Riot? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is that? I don't know. I'm not even trying to meta, but I feel like I
don't know. I roll a history check.
I mean, if it's like somebody's personal information, it's not Grant. That is a 9.
A 9. You've never heard that before, or know what that is. Do you speak it?
It's Elvish. Like,
no,
do I
mean,
speak the
you
name?
just say the words.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I do.
As you say the words, the girl that's holding the rat in the center picture, she moves.
Oh, Mom.
She looks up at you, and the rat, you can see, is kind of breathing and kind of curling around in her hand. And she smiles, and then begins to fade. And as she fades, she reveals a hole. And in the hole, you find a little stone.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of do one of those, like, is the screen door there checks, and
You can
then,
definitely sit, you can put your hand through.
yeah. Then I'll lean in and, I'll use my mage hand up this.
So the stone picks it up. Easy. Do you, mage hands, they don't have any feelings of themselves, right? So,
Great question. I don't know.
I don't think so. But you, yeah. So you pick it up. Where do you want to put it?
Sort of like, just want to like, sort of spin it around and look on it. Are there any marcation whatsoever?
As you take it out, the painting goes back.
Oh.
And as you put it in your hand, you see carved in, it's a flat stone, flat gray stone. And as you see, there's a carving in it of a tree. But as more interestingly, when you hold it, you feel a pulse. Slight. Da-da. 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 Very slight. And very, almost hard to detect.
But that's, it has a tree on it?
Yeah.
So this is like very much Gabriella's, style in the sense that she's stunned. She's feeling it. And she like is holding it kind of up to, and like if she's like still needing to get ready, then this would have set it down. But she's immediately going to carry it to Marcel.
Okay. As you carry it to Marcellus?
Yeah. Good morning, Master. I found this. It was within one of Jacqueline's paintings. You recognize it? And I sort of hold it up, also with the mage hand.
This is a dream? And a nice trick, and he pulls it out of the hand. Where did you find this, you say? And as he turns around, the tree's gone.
Oh, wait. The tree on the stone?
Yeah, as he kind of looks, it's a nice stone.
Oh, no, wait. I don't think this will work, but she's gonna try to cast Mint. She's like flustered.
As you try to cast Mending, make an Arcana check.
Hey. 21.
21. As you go and you try to cast it, and you're trying to see, like, it's kind of like when you saw the man carving the name and the date on the wood.
Yeah.
You can't see what's carving this tree. You can't see, and then all of a sudden there's something blocking you, and you just hear in your ear. Shh.
Wait, what does it say? Oh, I can't hear you.
He said, "Our little secrets."
Shit.
You say this was in one of her paintings?
Yeah.
A sculpture of some sort.
No.
The river stone.
Did you hear that? Did you hear
Hmm?
a voice, Marcellus? Did you hear
A
anything?
voice.
Just no. Anything about secret?
You all right there, girl?
Yes. No. Let me show you. Come. And she's like, not all right. She's a little bit like shit, and is gonna, she can't probably drag this guy, but she was gonna take his hand and lead him back into this room.
Yeah.
And she walks up. Riot.
And nothing happens.
Oh no. And she like speaks it, 2 or 3 more times, like kind of switches the emphasis. The stone was within the painting. I swear it is. I'm not one to lie, especially not something about this. I reached in and I saw it, and it had a tree etched within it, Marcellus. You must believe me. It was clear as day, but I agree. It doesn't have one now, and I just don't know. And she's gonna try to, unless it's like unwieldily big, she's gonna try to lift the frame of this painting.
Sure, yeah, you can certainly.
She's gonna go up and be like, "Who made this
careful.
frame? This frame is beautiful, so well leveled."
It's a boy in town. Be careful. Oh, that's oil. It's not easy to get. I took a lot of time on that. Yeah.
Oh God! Try to just like set it down.
Okay.
and look behind it, and I assume she sees absolutely nothing, but she's just...
Yeah, there's a wall behind it.
Oh my god, no. There was... I'm sorry I troubled you, Marcellus. I must have still been knocking the sleep out of my eyes. Yeah, let me... She's like wrenching her back.
Be careful now.
Ripping upward, trying to
There's no matter.
get it back on the hook. No, it's fine. I shouldn't have moved it. She's like trying to...
It's a little crooked.
Right. And she does spend the next like 7 minutes with one hand and then the mage hand on the other. Now? This side. That one?
That's fine. I like that. Yeah.
Well, no, but I want it to be right, Marcellus. I don't want it to be fine. I want it to be right.
I don't know. Why didn't you take it off? I'm sorry. I don't mean to lose my temper. It is fine. That looks good.
All right, I'll leave it. I'm sorry. I sort of look around like his daughter's room. I'm like feeling like an absolute idiot. I should get into the forest. I'm sure I can find just as much as yesterday, if not more. I might be a little bit late for lunch, but don't worry after me. I'll probably try to make a longer push and then come back in.
Oh, go ahead. See if you can get some shepherd's thistle. Oh, and where did you find this? And he opens up the rock.
I don't really know how else to put it, but the entire painting seemed as if it was alive, and then it dissolved, and resting within it, small sort of ensconcement. And like, you tell me, did it look like? I mean, like, did it look like some of it was just wall, and then there's like a 6-inch recess that goes in and has this stone in it, or is like a big...
It's like reaching your hand into a black box.
Yeah. Okay, that's kind of okay.
The whole time, yeah.
And so it was sort of like, big box that it was there, but then and she's, she sort of patted on the wall. You could see it was a fucking... I agree, it's not there now. Something perhaps an enchantment I haven't made familiar, but I promised you, Marcellus, it was... I say it had been. The picture dissolved and stone was resting within it.
I believe you. And he kind of looks over curiously at everything.
Does he believe me?
I
rolled a 12.
He seems confused as he's now investigating. And make an investigation check yourself.
That's a 9?
9.
10.
10 better. As you look, and he's looking over the paintings with the letters changing.
Yeah.
They're normal now.
They don't have the misspellings on them? Oh, fuck. Damn. So...
What are you getting into?
Just one moment. You know what? Hold on. I think I can... And she sort of was like... Yeah, I think she was, in my mind, like in the process of like, whatever, morning stuff and probably preparing her spells to a degree when she maybe noticed these differences, went back and saw this thing with the girl holding this rat. But now, I need to just quickly sort of, I wouldn't really, I think I would really, though she is going to prepare Featherfall and get rid of Identify. Just give me a couple minutes. Let me just see if I can get a feel for what might be in play, because I just noticed something different that was changed from last night to now, and well, I don't want you to think I'm crazy, and honestly it's driving me crazy not to know. Moment, and we'll sit there and begin ritually casting Detect.
Okay.
And he's just like just blushing, like these glowing crimson. Needlessly, but like the kind of embarrassment of youth, of feeling like, somebody she looks up to intellectually has been very engaging, foolish and childlike. But unless something happens, 10 minutes will go by, and
as you cast it, the The stone in his hand that he's holding begins to glow. And as you get tracings from the paintings, but it seems like they're void now. But as there's magic, that you get magic properties, and then there is the absence of magic, where something is taken. There's like negative magical space,
like residue.
The paintings have this negative magical space. And does it just glow for you, or does it glow for everyone else?
No, it just glows for me, I believe.
So you see the stone glowing.
And this is like, again, this is just, part of her weird way. But she like still has this spell up. It does have with verbal and somatic component. And perhaps there is just like the briefest rising of one dragon's. But as she casts this and looks and realizes that she's going to drop to her knees. Where to, Marcellus? I promise you, there's something that either the skill that your wife possessed or something remains here. Paintings in this stone. Sense it. It's a spell called Detect Magic. Tried and true. It has a long history of 99.9. Ask, have you seen this stone?
No. And the longer I look at it, at least I think that it belongs here.
Your wife, perhaps.
I believe you. Get up, Gabriel. I believe you. Thank you for bringing this to my attention.
And I do, I take his hands, and I can tell that I'm keep it if you'd like. I'd like to examine it later because, and she maybe whatever. As you can tell, it's solid. It's real. Well, a walk would do me good. Forgive me. She picks up her spell book and very sort of neatly slides it behind her and almost hurriedly have a great day, Marcellus. Excuse me. And she starts to walk out and then remembers that she left that dagger that sort of I think it was bone hilted. Is that right?
Yes.
And yeah.
Oh no, it's a steel. Bone hilted and a steel blade instead of the
bone handled. My bad. Sorry, I forgot this. So helpful this. Okay, a little bit later in the afternoon.
Still holding it, studying the paintings, looking.
And she shakes her head, just kicking herself, and heads out. I'm not sure what time it is. Hopefully mid or late morning. I'm it's 2:00. Shit.
All right. So no, it's mid-morning. It's very early. And as you kind of go out, so you go out into the woods?
Yeah.
And you have your list and you're looking for stuff again?
Yeah, I'm specifically, darn it, but specifically looking for the, hold on. I know what they look like. That's a great memory.
Mm-hmm.
It is what was it? Shepherd's Thistle.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. Go ahead and as you kind of go out into the woods, go ahead and make a nature check.
I'll pull out this dagger.
Yeah.
Rolling very well. I've been rolling a shitload of 3s and 4s. Does the 7 stack with my nature?
It would stack. Yeah. Is it +7 or +5? It's +7. +7.
It was +7. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. +7. Yeah.
I'm a +4 already.
So you're +11.
That's insane.
Right.
Okay, so a 15.
But it's only for herbs and things like that.
Got you. Okay.
You're a little distracted as you kind of go through. You see some other of the other of the materials, you see like some port grass, basket orchids, more some night lovers. But the night lovers don't seem quite right as you go to kind of you get the sense that this isn't really the dagger kind of tells you not to cut those
It's
quite
early.
yet.
It's early in the season for the night lovers.
And but yeah, it takes you a while and you get deeper and deeper into the woods. But you do find a little patch of shepherd's thistle. Kind of, there's a rill that streaming down and patch of light that shines down onto this one little bush. And you see him kind of growing up from under a boulder.
Oh.
As
Take
you
the knife out very delicately. Really enjoying the process. I'll have the mage hand up to sort of catch it as it.
all right, make another nature check. Easily as you kind of get the sense of where to clip it, and this one really wants to be clipped down at the base of the stem to not really leave anything. There's about a bush of 12 of these flowers coming out, and you feel after about the 5th one, the knife kind of tells you that should be enough. Do you want to get more, or do you want to...
Just a quick aside, Brian, this knife is the coolest thing.
Oh, okay.
I mean, oh shit. I think I forgot, and I think in her, because she was going to cut some of the helix palm fronds, and bring them potentially out a spider's silk spider. But I think she is now going to continue looking, like across the board for anything in season, port grass, more dragon's teeth, bambifloria. And she's also probably going to be looking for anything that looks tracks like or like game trails broken in the tropical forest.
Okay. It's 2 different rolls.
Cool.
All right. So they're both nature. Well, I would say the tracking of looking for spiders and like tracks of spiders and such would be a survival check. And then you can make another kind of nature check on what herbs you find along the way.
Sweet. So this was the survival check. Was a.
Okay.
Then this with the deck. 8.
An 18 with the dagger. So you find a few, as you're kind of looking, and I think your mind is really kind of focused on these spiders, but you do find some things. You find some more pork grass. You feel like you have enough. The star court you find some more night lovers, but they still seem closed. And
Got it.
the knife wants you to get them when they're open. Some soft ogres, flicker feathers. You see a lot of these things. And you collect, you fill up your basket, leaving a bunch behind, until you find yourself at the tree again that the 2 rats had devoured the spider. And you don't really know how you got there, but you can see the webbing, and you can see there's some legs and hair that are left over from where the rats had just basically eaten the carcass of this thing.
I think this is more in the. Gonna go around as close as she can. Remnants of the spider. Back with them. Wish I'd as holy just be. Sort of pull them back and bronze back. Does she, and part of it depends on time. She feels like she feels like Marcellus is going to be happy with it. With the layout of Paraffin. There was talk of And if there's any change in the direction of it. If there's any change in elevation within this.
Yeah, it's all on a hill, and the hill seems to be kind of rolling up. It goes up and down, but like the second up is getting, up,
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
up. The second up is much higher,
Now it's
and
really
there's
going up.
trees and jungle throughout.
Got it.
Yeah, you can kind of search closer, further in, if you're looking for caves. You did see over where you got the shepherd thistle. There were kind of like small crevices where the river was coming through, and possibly some small caves, like, basketball-sized holes, but nothing like a huge bear cave, something for you to get through, unless you could turn yourself into something smaller. Or
I think, I think I'll walk out there.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully find like a little break. Let's sit down and eat the last hard-boiled egg. I have myself over, and I'm gonna pop out Albie.
Okay.
And kind of like tanned pattern. I believe he's still in sparrow shape, right? A small bird. So you can give him the rundown. Okay, so Albie, curious if you see inside, have a couple hops. Anything dangerous or serious? I don't have a lot of chalk. If you see any webbing, he does. And if there are any shafts of light, it's very important.
So it goes down this small hole. And does it have dark visions?
I hope so. I think we were cheating the Raven stat blocks. Let me.
Okay. So
it does not.
Okay. So as it kind of goes.
Hang on. I got this. Albie, hold up. Hang on. And I'll bring him back out, and I'll pull like a little bit of either line from rope, cut it with my dagger, or simply like unspool one of the catchers at the top of a pouch. In a very oh my god, if you'll allow this, I'm just gonna gingerly hold still, Albie. I'm gonna sort of float it over and begin to tie just the most gentlemanly little bow.
Okay.
And as I do, I'm gonna cast light on this.
On the thing? Yeah. So let me make sure.
Now it is sort of like an anglerfish at this point, just begging for death. But
yeah. That's
but
great.
See.
So it's got this light on it, and it just kind of like looks at you.
You look great. It looks very good. It looks handsome. Yeah. You look distinguished. Yeah.
It flutters down this cave. And you can see it, and you see the light kind of going deep, and then it all of a sudden
slip through his eyes.
You slip through his eyes. Okay, cool. So you take this turn, and the cave gets smaller and smaller, about 6 inches in diameter, and be able to kind of go through and twist and turn. You see little remnants of webs, kind of sticky areas that you have to pass through. Make a dexterity check as you're fluttering through here with wings and whatnot. Natural 19. You're
21.
able to get through. And you come across. Can Albie hear? And can you hear through Albie?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm. Yes.
All right. You go through these windings of the caves into a small, a bigger room, maybe about 2-3 feet in diameter, with this light. And as you come in, you hear, and you see this room of about 5 or 6 rats and the carcasses of 3 spiders looking straight at you. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw. It was as one of them lunges towards you.
Fuck. See if I have any touch spells up. Blast these boys. Damn. All right, Albie, come on. Do another 19.
19.
Dex save, so it'll be 21.
21. Okay, just barely. You're able to get it. Roll initiative.
Oh my god! Albie, no! Oh my gosh, I'm getting all these incredible rolls. I'm about to roll like such trash. Okay, Dex again, so that's a 19.
Okay, 19. Albie gets to go first. What would you like to do?
Oh my
Albie?
gosh, okay. First, let me punch this music, and then let me also double check the specifics of the Find Familiar spell.
Can you cast Can you cast spells through Find Familiar?
You can, yeah, but I think it's only touch. Disappears, shibbity beep. An action, you can the eyes. When you cast a spell with a range of touch, your familiar can deliver the spell as if it had cast the spell. It must be within 100 feet of you, and it must use its reaction to deliver the spell when you cast it.
The familiar. So finally, when you cast a spell with a range of touch, your familiar can deliver the spell as if it had cast the spell. Okay, very cool.
So I know I'm such a bad wizard. Hold up, I'm still trying to sort out exactly what this is, but don't worry. How many rats are there?
4.
And this is a small space. You said like 3 feet.
Yeah, exactly. Here,
Okay.
hold on. I wonder if I can do this. Hold on. Let's boom. All right, I put this. Hold on.
Yes, look at you.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah, sick. Guided
right.
there. Albie.
LV, and then
Plunging. Okay, I think. No, because this is a. No, it's a ranged attack spell. Okay. So. Albie. Sweet, sweet boy. Time for you to fucking go. Oh my god. Wow, those things look absolutely ferocious, dude.
yeah.
I need to make them so aggressive. I just go, oh! And I'm going to be like, Albie, get out of there. Fuck, come on. And going to double dash. Going to take the, man, I really need some fucking, I think this through with Find Familiar. You can take the disengage action, Albie is.
Okay.
And head back the way it came. And as that's happening, Gabriella's going to stand up like, oh. And she's still like sort of seeing through Albie's eyes, but then pops out of it, almost walks into the river. Oh, and is going to turn and shit. I mean, like immediately look like, are there larger openings? Like, I mean, for her to go in, maybe yes, but more just, are these rats about to spill out of this thing?
You
know what I mean?
You kind of lost the contact, but as you disengage and kind of run away, you right before leaving, you can hear the rats chasing Albie.
Okay,
And
cool.
Albie just needs to make a dexterity, just a acrobatics or athletics check to see how well they get through the caverns and the caves and such.
Fling it. It's Dex again. That's an 18.
18, great. Okay, cool. Albie's doing really great.
Yeah.
Just coming through, but yeah, you're kind of standing there, and you get the sense that Albie is getting chased.
Yes, sure. Okay. So he does not have a lot of attacks. Doesn't have a lot of power. I think. I mean, I don't know if Gabby needs to roll her own initiative, but fuck it. They're right there.
They're coming. Mm-hmm.
They're coming. Okay, exactly. Oh man, I want to attack with Albie so bad, but I'm sure these rolls are about to take a turn south. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm like, man, 18, 19, 16. Oh shit, Albie. Fuck. Okay. So Albie is gonna mimic the sound of a rat. 1.
Okay.
Just like the snarling of a rat to make them think, using his mimicry ability, making them think like, holy shit, is this a bird or perhaps a rat bird? But he's going to continue booking it the fuck out.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's got I mean, I think it might be a little beyond the rats. They see
Sure, sure.
a blinding, the lit,
Yeah.
bow-tied bird that came through. I mean, make a
They didn't think
persuade,
he was a
make
god.
a,
They should have
uh,
worshipped him as a god. Is what.
uh, they could have, maybe just not their god. Make a, whatever, make a deception check.
Oh, I'm really just
DC
trying
is
to.
25 on Albie.
And hey, well, okay, it gives a resting DC of 10 for it, but his deception check is a 12 minus 2, which is a 10.
Okay. Okay. Well, wait, I mean, they're not gonna believe that he's a rat.
Sure, yeah. No, totally.
Anyway,
It's more just
so
to like
they're gonna
fuck
make
with
him make another dexterity check. But four of the rats have gotten kind of far behind, but one of the rats is kind of on his tail with rolling 18.
Okay, you got it. Like, and he's just trying to double dash out. Right?
Yes, these guys are double dashing after him.
Dude, he just rolled a 17.
All right, great.
If it's a dex save, that's a 19.
All right, cool. So he flies out of the cave, and as soon as he does, you see a rat just lunge after him. And some couldn't kind of land like right there on the ground and kind of looking up.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much time would have happened. She saw this, and I think sees them coming out.
Like 3 seconds, 3 or 4 seconds.
Okay,
Or I mean, 3 or 4 turns. So whatever, 30 seconds.
Okay, great. In that case, she would have gotten about 50 feet away, and as soon as this thing pops out, gonna blast off a ray of frost.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack.
Oh baby, natural 20.
That's just
Fucking go.
Yeah, roll the damage.
This is the day. I'm like literally. I'm just like my shoulders are hunched because I'm worried about the other shoe dropping. That's it. All right. Rolls a 1. That sucks. Rolls an 8. 9 points of cold damage.
All right.
And its speed is reduced by 10 feet.
All right. So as the 9 points, you can see it, and as it's just barely kind of hanging on. It's like most of the hair is kind of ripped off of it. As another one goes pop, 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 falls out.
Oh my god. Gabby's like, that's his.
Does Albie want to turn?
Shit. I mean, yes. Albie's gonna come in and try to peck the one that got blasted by the ray of frost.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack.
Let's go. 12 plus 4, 16.
16 hits. Go ahead
Albie
and
is
roll
a fucking
damage.
tank. Yes, Albie, go. On a hit, 1 piercing damage.
All right, 1 piercing damage as he pecks like the eye and of this kind of frozen animal as the animal like loses control of its limbs and falls. The other 3, one of them jumps and lunges up at Albie.
For sure, and it'll use its reaction because Albie on his turn is gonna like peck that and then try to fly like 30 feet up.
Oh, peck it and then get away.
Yeah, if it can.
Gets it away. And yeah, he flies up as it kind of goes after him and misses. And then they kind of circle the body, looking at Albie, looking at you, and then they start running back into the hole.
Shit. Wild. Damn it. I'm gonna magic missile one.
All right, as it's going away. All right, sure. Yeah. All right. Go ahead and roll to hit. I'll give him a plus.
Well,
I'll give him
they
plus 3 on his
automatically hit.
Oh, they automatically hit. Okay.
I'm not sure if it's 3 or 1. Just let me see the.
Yeah, 3, I think. 3 and
Perfect,
3 d4. Yeah.
So 11 then plus 3. So yeah, I mean, I guess if
You
two,
rolled an 11 on the damage. You rolled.
No, I rolled a 3 and 2 4s.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that
So
would
as you
be
that last you hear
14.
you hear the death moans. It's like a magic missile flies through this cave tunnel and hits one of them, and you think it kills one of them.
Okay. Albie, come here to me. It flies to my shoulder, and I'm like breathing heavy. I'm like, oh fuck. What? She looks at it. She's like, she knows that ray of frost was like a pop off. She's like, oh my. She's like super adrenalined out. And she's like really torn because she's doesn't feel the need to like necessarily go kill these rats, but there's a part of her that's like, like what's going on? Like what's the score here? Like why is some of this happening? Like, in her mind it kind of feels like it's the same rats as yesterday, although she knows that fucking no, like who knows?
These are a little smaller rats than yesterday. Yesterday they were kind of bigger, like almost like 2 feet tall, like dogs.
Jeez
almost.
Louise. Okay.
Yeah. But these are still pretty. These are like some big old New York City rats. Same breed, same everything else.
Does Gabby think she can?
You saw that when Albie went through, there were you could probably get your head in and like squeeze it.
Right.
Like there were parts that got too small. Yeah.
Oh my. And she is going to Oops, sorry, I hit the wrong one again. Hit the pig. I was changing my spell slots used. If it's not past noon yet, if it's not like moving or like 2 p.m. let's say. I know she doesn't have a fucking watch on it. And guys, I'm sorry about the squealing pig. I know that I did that on accident. But I'm gonna walk around this area. Gonna send Albie off and not go through his eyes, but just tell him to fly, to look for, areas like this, changes in elevation, groupings. There might be caves, and also to keep an eye out for any webbing. But until she feels like it's moving towards about 1:45, 2:30 p.m., okay, she's going to try to just gain high ground and use Albie as well, and, sort of get a feel for like, dang, are there like, those rats were bigger, get even bigger than, like, try to get a feel for, dang, are there maybe more areas where, wildlife or areas are being inhabited by anything, not just rats.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a survival check.
That's a 7.
7?
Yeah.
You find a few. Albie sees a few of these twisted palms. These helix palms that are going up, and he sees at the top of them some webbing at one of the very tops, like some strong webbing that has like a few of the leaves kind of caught into it, right? There are some more caves. You don't really see any life in them, like as you kind of go around these small kind of caves. You do come to a fairly large cave in the side of this hillside, and I'd say by this time it's afternoon, 1:30, 2 o'clock. And there's water that's kind of streaming, a small little stream that comes out of this cave that looks like you could walk into, but it goes pretty dark pretty quick.
And about how far, like, I mean, I should have specified, but like our telepathic link, I think is only a mile. So in my mind, like that was sort of a pattern. Do I feel like this is within a mile?
Well, I feel like you've been walking around for a long time, right?
Sweet. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So like just, this is kind of towards the over time with the 7, you haven't seen much. But you find this larger cave.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to make note of that. I'm going to sort of pull him out a little bit and get my bearings and try to get a feel for like, okay, if I'm leaving Marcellus, more or less just get a feeling. Look for large landmarks, because that's something I'll probably, push for on the morrow. Or
okay. Sure. You want to try to find your way back here? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm just going to try to get a feel, because I'm not going to go there today.
Okay, yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm sorry, I'm like sounding all over the place, but you tell me, DM. Marcellus and I hadn't really set a time. I more just don't want to be out in this sort of tropical, like, jungle forest, Do I think I could make it to this cave in an hour?
Yeah, no, I think I'm assuming you're there. Like,
oh my God,
Albie saw it, and you're standing in front of it. It's like 2 o'clock. Yeah.
Oh my God, hell yeah! Then I'm going in.
Are you gonna go in?
Yeah, I'll see where Albie is, and I'm gonna go in there, and I'm going to sort of think back to many of my conversations with Brist to try to figure out if Mage Armor is a ritual spell. Don't think it is. I'm the worst fucking wizard.
It takes a while.
Nope. Okay. I think they need a boost, Major. Not enough.
Wizards
Yeah.
aren't meant to be tanks.
You're right. You're right. Okay. You know what? I'll just save it. She's like, right. Well, you, and I think I'll again cast light on the eye, and not far, but just a little bit, like sort of almost using Albie like a torch, and a little bit like bait.
Yeah.
You know, sort of floating, you know, whatever it be, 30, 40 feet ahead of me.
Okay, great. And you're kind of keeping your eye, and you're going into trance, or is he?
No, I'm not. I'm
Okay, you're
we're
just
able
using him.
but
to see
telepathically.
Okay, great.
He could be like, oh, stuff, rat.
So it's a large cave, but you have to duck in. Sometimes you have to get on your hands and knees and crawl, especially at the beginning, right? And twist around, and it gets a little uncomfortable, but there's light, and it goes and opens up a little bit larger into this cavern. And you see this large pool of water and a waterfall that's kind of trickling down off these rocks. Not a huge one, just, and probably a pool of water that's maybe about 4 feet deep at its deepest. And as Albie goes around, Albie stops. You see at the edge of the water some carcasses.
Oh God. Of what?
Well, you're kind of far away. Are you?
Oh, got it. Yeah.
If you want to go further closer, you can.
I'll try first to look through Albie's eyes.
Sure. And as he looks down, you see they're smaller than deer, maybe like gazelle type creatures. Look like those kind of like horns, but smaller, or smaller in size, but a little chunkier in arms, you know, but some kind of deer-like creatures. It looks like their throats have been eaten, as well as from the inside out, like not a lot of the meat, but the organs have been eaten.
Throats cut, organs eaten.
Yeah. And not cut, like something,
but like ripped.
Ear, like ripped out all this soft stuff, ripped out all this stuff.
Got it.
Soft. You can make a medicine check if you want.
Yeah, let's say 12.
A 12. Yeah, so it just looks like all the places it ate, and you've studied books on anatomy of all things. It looks like it's all soft tissue, soft organ stuff. Like it wanted the, you know, it ate the lungs, it ate the colon, you know, all the guts. It ate all the guts and left all the meat, you know.
Do I know of anything that like? I don't think I do. I mean, I think is that what that 12 was?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, my bad. Of course. Well, damn. And I know this would be wrapped up in the 12 too, but is it still like believe? You know what I mean? Does it look like? Yeah, this was last night.
With the 12. Yeah, it looks like it probably, yeah, it's recent. Like there's not a lot of decomposition in the body. Probably, yeah, yesterday. Maybe during the middle of the night yesterday.
Damn.
The cave continues from this pool of water. You see it kind of bend to the left, and then it looks like it hooks to the right. Still very large. There's some other openings.
Look over at Albie. You know, Brish said that magic can be learned in books, so be a bit of a sally onward, huh? And go on, yeah, lead us. And I'll sort of, you must, all right? You know I can bring you back. It's your spirit that's safe. The body is unimportant. Go.
He starts like pecking around looking for your charcoal.
There's no charcoal to be had. Go. Yeah. I have enough. All
right. He flutters away. He goes around the bend. You see the illumination. You go around the bend as well? as he
Yeah,
kind of
yeah. I mean, if he's not sounding the alarm of like beast, then absolutely.
No. He does stop, and he can kind of communicate back to you? Is that
Yeah,
right?
and it's very unclear, but it says telepathically, within a mile.
Okay. You get there's a big one. Big one. Big one. Big one. Big one. Big one. Big one.
Big what? A big rat? Big rat?
Oh, yeah. I'm looking right at it. It doesn't see me.
Hang on, I'm coming. Hold up.
Doesn't see me. Doesn't see me yet.
Buckle down real low. Hide your bow tie.
I have a glowing bow tie.
I'm gonna look through its eyes real quick.
Okay. As you see a large rat, larger than the ones you saw yesterday at the thing. Probably about, Great Dane in size. This large chompers, and it's just kind of snipping between two rocks, like angry, like bashing its head against these two rocks, trying to get in between like this kind of smaller crevice.
Okay. And it looks like all this area that I've gone through,
Yeah.
Rat.
Mm-hmm. Now make an investigation check as you look at it through Albie.
And I'll bring Albie back to me. That is a 19.
Okay, 19. It's large and aggressive, and it seems to be just like really trying to get into this. There's these two boulders, and there's a small kind of shadowed crevice in the middle that it's just adamantly trying to just stick and lick, and then gets up, and you can see on this side he's got these large claw marks that have been ripped down onto his side, like he, with some blood and stuff coming from them.
And I guess we come a little bit closer. I don't want us to get caught. Nonsense. I've already used a spell now. But she'll sort of peek around, and damn, it's pure instinct, But for her, she's like, is it? She's just really curious what this thing's going after.
Yeah.
She feels like it's very, very possible and likely, that it's a spider. Can I ask you though, DM, whenever this one rat was like frozen and then pecked to death, shout out to Albie.
Mm-hmm.
Did the other rats, and I guess they were sort of, feared the arcane power of Gabriella, but did it look like they were like, are they cannibals? You know what I mean? Do rats eat rats?
Oh, they didn't eat the rat that was left behind.
Okay, yeah, I don't think she'd fucking know. But didn't eat that rat. Okay, all right, stand back. Should I do it? Like thinks back long and hard about like Brist and like the mechanics and how he said to move things. And Gabby is gonna try to stealthily around this corner.
Okay.
And how far away was the rat from where Albie had landed?
I think probably about like 40 feet. Now
40?
he's kind of up in the air about 20 feet.
Right.
Yeah, these, and so you can get around this, like, I don't have a map of this, unfortunately, but there's a, like, you can kind of imagine yourself, like, peeking around a boulder, and it's, like, this room is about 20 feet tall, 40 feet long. He's at the other end of it, and 20 feet tall, right? So 20 feet wide, 20 feet tall, 40 feet long. And it kind of is in, like, the shape of an oval, like, pointed at the end, and he's down here at the bottom end trying to get whatever's there.
Gabby language. And try to stealth up and get a visual on.
Roll a stealth check.
Rolled a 19. Not good at stealth. I think that's just a 19.
It doesn't pay attention at all as you kind of go around and look, and the light's coming through in this dark area. It doesn't seem to be paying any attention to it. It would be the only light in this room, and you can see because of Albie, but it doesn't seem like the rat like could care less about the light, could care less about you.
Interesting.
It's all on whatever is here.
Okay, is there a spot that Is there only one way in? Do I see a way out of this small 20-ish foot room?
It appears that this is the only way in and out. Possibly behind this small crevice that this guy's trying to get to.
Okay. To Albie, I'm like, get ready. Albie's like, oh.
Let's go. I think let's go.
Going to. She's going to. Does she have advantage on this attack? Because she's. It's fine if not. I feel like
Yeah,
it's totally fine if not. I feel like she would like know if she like.
I think so. Yeah, like you feel like you're like the rat just doesn't pay any attention to you whatsoever. So yeah, you could probably step out.
An array
like
of frost.
Fucking Western.
No, I'm not. I'm up in the rocks, baby. I'm ambush. I mean, I know I'm low on the ground, but oh fuck. I'm gonna cast Ray of Frost.
Okay, go ahead and roll to hit.
One of them was a natural 1. The other was a 16.
16
plus 6.
22 hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Gosh. 5, and its speed is reduced by 10 feet.
5 and speed is reduced by 10 feet. Okay, great. Now roll initiative.
Ay, caramba. Do we want to just roll the 4? So that's a 5. No. Do we want to just use Albie on my initiative, or would you like?
Yeah, you guys can go at the same time. Well, so Albie gets an action as well, even when you use your own action.
You know, I don't know.
We'll figure that out.
All
right.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see.
Okay.
But yeah, I rolled a fucking 4.
Okay, cool.
You know.
So as the ice just comes and kind of skips right up.
Okay,
through
so
the back,
for what it's worth, I'm so sorry,
Yes.
Brian, but it says in combat it rolls its own initiative. We don't necessarily
Okay,
roll its
whatever.
own
initiative.
But it acts on its own turn. A familiar can't attack. Oh fuck! I didn't realize that. Well, take that hit point back. But it can take other actions as normal.
Oh, okay. Well, it can. Your Albie can pack because it already did.
Yeah, sick. 1
Uh,
point is funny.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. Albie can roll his own initiative. What's Albie's initiative?
So awful. That's a 6.
Okay, 6. So this you can see the ice kind of clearing and tears away some of the fur as some of the fur on this rat like looks like these icicles that are pinned up over across the slash that's against his side as it turns and looks at you and begins and it gets about 20 feet 5 10 15 20 and it dashes towards you right next to you. So that'll be its turn. I believe it'll be Albie's turn next.
Okay, Albie is going to. Damn. Might be it, Albie. I fucked us. He's gonna go and. I mean, fuck it. It's gonna swoop down. Attack. That is a natural 11. But if it's +4 still, which I don't know if it is.
I don't think it would be.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the Raven block.
Yeah.
So it's an 11. I don't know if that hits. But Albie's just gonna be like fucking hanging out, just flapping, just like chirping his sweet ass
around
off.
it. Okay, great.
Yes.
It doesn't hit, and it's kind of sitting around, and it's just snarling, and takes a couple of snaps in the air, but it's just like snarling, looking at you. Go ahead and make it whatever you want to do for your turn.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it. Albie, peck its eyes, peck its brain. No, Ooh. Yeah, she's like racking in that split second. She's like, she knows she can't charm person this thing, but she's like about to cast it. And she's like, no, shit. Gonna blast off another magic missile.
Okay.
Or 3 darts, all of them towards. God damn it! 2, a 1, another 1. Fuck.
Oh no.
So that's
4
7.
points.
7 hit points.
Oh, 7 points. So,
Yeah.
he's gonna shatter off of his arm. So.
And, you know, its speed is reduced. You know what? I maybe should have. Well, what I did doesn't matter. And Gabby's just gonna be like, "Fuck," and I think she has to run. So she's gonna. I know, you know, she's just, you know, gonna try to run from this thing. So she's gonna use her 30 feet of movement.
All right. So as you turn and run, he's going to attack, and
I'm gonna give him. Oh wait, no, I'm not. No, just roll. I'm sorry, I forgot how it works.
Does a 14 hit?
Oh, it. Hang on. It would, except cast shield.
All right. As shield comes up over you,
I'm going to die.
As it snaps, and just like you can hear it, like it feels as if it's gonna blish in your face, put its fangs in your flesh, and you just are able to kind of run away. And almost like you hear it, it gets confused, and you can hear some of your cloak kind of tearing away as you run 30 feet away.
Oh no! I can hear Gabriel's trumpet. It sounds like a rockaway beat. Every time I adjust my spells, I fuck it up. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I'll use my full 30 feet and look back to Albie, and I'm just like, run!
Okay, and Albie, it would be Albie's turn, so he's gonna run as well. Now, does it always have? Does it get to? It doesn't have a save, huh? Since the start of your next turn, so it doesn't have the 20. It doesn't have the movement and a problem anymore.
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, on a hit, and it reduced by 10 feet until the start of your next turn.
I'm sure that's right. Can't trip.
All right. So Albie runs away, tries to snap it. It can't because it lost its reaction. Albie's got a flying speed of 30 as well.
50.
50? Okay, so Albie zips right past you. And now you hear...
Got it.
As it's going to try to hit you. Do you still have the shield out?
Yes, until my stealth. Okay,
that's first. It's 10, so just continue anyway. But it's right on top of you.
Okay. So Albie goes first.
Okay.
I don't have any more because I mean, so I'm just gonna fucking soar in there. Natural 16.
Okay. As it goes, bing, just pecks him 1 point of damage.
Yes, let's go.
The face. He shakes off.
I cry out. I'm like, cast the higher level spells, Albie, for it is you that holds the power. I'm like desperate to like get away from this thing, and telepathically, I'm like, you need to. Albie, please, you need to give up your life for me in this moment. I can bring you back to the material plane. The same cannot be said of me. And I'm going to kind of like game out. I've never played a wizard, and I may never again. I think so boned with this. Because I don't know what its movement speed is. And it will still keep getting an attack because of the... Okay, well, Albie's going to fly in, hit him, and then fly away with the rest of his movement.
Okay.
For whatever it's worth.
He's not taking his reaction on Albie.
He's desperate. And Gabby is like looking back. Fuck! And sees that it did not attack. And, or I guess she's right there and sees it not happen. That's fine. And is just going to run away. Full action.
Take an attack of opportunity as it tries to bite you.
And it's going, and he's in.
Oh shit. Yeah, natural 20.
Oh no. God.
As it just like, as you kind of go away and just goes, and
no.
That's how it ends for Gabby in the far flung.
I mean, I think so.
Alright, roll it's a 4 and 2 doubled to, so 6 to 12 plus 3 is 15.
That's it.
That's it? As you are in as you get and you see Albie, and you're like, Albie, why did you do
Dude,
it?
this thing was rolling 2d6?
2d6.
Oh my god.
It's a bigger one.
Woo! No,
You fall.
that's awesome. I'm like, she's like, oh shit.
Into the water. Albie's light diminishes as I believe the Find Familiar probably goes away, right?
You know,
With consciousness.
I don't. Hey,
As this is happening, and you lose consciousness as Gabby, and you're in this water, and you feel this kind of cool. You feel this cool liquid on your face, and it reminds you of the ship and those breezes that would come off the bow and smack you, and your father would pull you away to keep you safe. Make a death saving throw.
don't know how these rolls work, but I would like to use a movement roll. I don't know. I probably cannot. Don't know. 7.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's a fail.
think
You can use a port and roll on a death saving throw.
don't. Let me see. It reappears you guys' spell.
I think anytime you would use a dice roll, except for the most important dice roll, I don't think it would say that.
Right. So I think it only disappears.
Yeah, saving throw.
Well, no,
Right.
I'm looking to find familiar, and I don't. I just don't know.
Okay, so the light is.
I think the light is gone. It's still here. If I can, she would definitely. Perhaps mistook these portent rolls this morning as being the death of others when she saw them. But yeah, she would use her 19 and her 11. The next 2 rolls, and then I guess let's just fucking see.
Didn't you use a 19 already? You used a 19 on the Arcana check at the beginning of the game.
Well, that was the 20 I used from the night before.
Oh, you have 3 portent rolls?
No. I didn't use any portent rolls on the previous day. I used that 20, and I also had a 2 that I kind of thought I had now, but I was wrong because whenever the day started, I re-rolled and rolled a 19 and an 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I see what you meant. You know what a 19, 11.
Like
okay,
it resets at dawn, basically.
All right. So you have 1 fail, 2 successes.
Right. Exactly.
Right. All right. Make another one.
Oh my god. Rolled. It's 17, but it looked like a 1. It rolled from a 7 to 17.
Okay. And Gabriella. You find yourself on the ship. You're with Brisk. You see spiders. And you see yourself getting strangled by ropes and silks and pulling the life out of you. You hear a voice in your head. Shh. Until you feel on the side of your face a heavy, wet tongue. And your eyes flicker open. And it's nighttime and you're lying by the entrance of the cave. You see Albie's there, still lit. In your blurred vision, a small reptilian face looks over you, directly in your eyes, sticks out his tongue, and licks right across your face. Oh. And we'll start there next time.
Oh my god. He is so fucking... Damn, that was so wild, Bri. Thank you for that. Insane. Hang on a second. Oh my gosh.
The natural 20 was like, oh man.
Oh no, dude. Believe me.
I was like, maybe, whatever. We'll see what the dice do.
I kept thinking in my head, I was like, I have at least one guaranteed miss. But then I was like, oh no, it's not a 2, it's an 11. And like an 11 is my armor class.
Oh.
Oh, so classic.
Oh, right.
No,
Shit, yeah.
that was awesome. I should have. I forgot to run away on my initial turn, and that fucked me hard.
Yeah, like,
because
so
I
you
need to
can,
throw
like,
it and
kinda
then like
scrape it.
run, you know?
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Oh, that was very scary.
Yeah, it's okay. The thing that he was chasing and beating just needed, he did a lot of damage to it. So you only needed to get him
Oh, dude, Brian,
a
that was
little bit.
insane.
You only had to get him to a little bit, but he got you.
Yeah, no, that's a fun way to set it up. As he came to attack me, in my head I was like, I think I have one. And then you rolled the nat 20. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. That's
Oh my gosh.
It's okay. It'll be
No,
fun.
man. Listen, this is what she needs. Ah, some IRL experience. Brist. Fuck. Dude, thank you so much for this, Bri. This was a hoot. It was a hoot and a half.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yo, what up, Root? Good seeing you. We're actually playing on Owlbear right now. Although it has given us fits.
Yeah.
Brian, that was incredible, man.
Oh, thank you. You too. Fun times. Ooh. Yeah. Well, you know.
I think that's what Gabby would have done, man. She had that dream. She felt bad about holding back. Painting this picture of, you know.
I feel good about the death saves working out. So that's good.
Yeah, I'm so glad. Yeah, I guess those portent rules did come into play. Thank God. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we'll see you next Wednesday where I will be DMing Coleridge on episode 4 of 8. It's bringing us on a hurdling crash course. God knows what. But Brian, this was such a hoot, man. Thank you
cool,
for
man.
this. Really appreciate it. Yeah, guys, join us. I'm going to be doing some D&D prep next Monday. And then Wednesday, I will be DMing Brian. We might do it Thursday. You and I will figure that out, Brian. But as always, appreciate it and love you guys. Anything you want to say, Brian, before we get out of here?
Thanks, everybody, for watching. Hope it was fun.
Was, dude. You're a hoot. Okay, we're rating Fuzka. Tell her Carpe sent you. Give her a smooch. And as always, take care of yourselves, my boy. We out. Brian, I love you, dude. That was absolutely rad.